First off, this is Evan from Minimalist and Loving It, and I am talking with Jeremy from Ultra Zero Drop. So first off, how did you get involved with minimalist footwear?
Oh, it's all by relation, I think. Really, this goes back to with my cousin Golden, who's my co-partner, co-founder. We a few years ago, well, he's worked in a running store since he was 9 years old. His parents owned the shop, and a few years back, he started just playing with shoes, modifying them, drilling holes in the midsole, some of those things. They were the first retailer to carry 5 fingers. And so it was always about helping runners to run better, run healthier, have stronger feet, be able to have better technique, all of those things. And so ultimately he melted a pair of shoes in his toaster oven and peeled them apart and made them zero drop. And that was his first zero drop modification shoe. And after that, we started modifying traditional shoes by cutting the heel wedge out and doing some of those things and playing with adjusting prototypes and that type of stuff to create zero drop cushion footwear. And so really that's kind of what spurred it on. I talked to him about it. I wanted to get back into running, and whenever I ran, I suffered from knee pain. And so to get me back into running, I went to him and said, hey, what do I need to do? How do I eliminate this? What do I need to do? He said, here, try a pair of these on. So we went for a run in these zero drop modification shoes, and during that run I had no knee pain, and it was a revelation, I guess you could say, for me. And so when we got back, I said, dude, who's doing this? Who makes these shoes? And nobody. Nobody's doing anything like this. I said, well, why don't we do it then? And so I pushed and shoved a little bit and said, let's get it going. And we found some manufacturing and developers and those things, and had some people reach out to us because they heard what we were doing and wanted to partner with us. And that's how we got into the whole gig.
I don't even really know what to say to that. That's just crazy. I mean, but so basically since then it's just been, that's it.
Yeah, so then we just started playing with prototypes. We designed our shoes to actually be shaped like healthy feet, and started building out, and now we're filling up our line and working on adding more shoes and innovating what's currently out there and working to really bring better footwear to the masses. So we're looking to bring footwear that allows us to run naturally, run with better technique, run better, run healthier.
All right, so what would you say is the most important aspect of a minimalist shoe?
That's a tough question, because I think it's a twofold deal when it comes to minimalist or any footwear. But I think the most important aspect is to put us in a position where our body is naturally inclined to be. To wrap it all up, I know that's a very broad statement, but I think if you're going to summarize it into just one statement, that's really it. And by jacking up heels, putting chunky heels on shoes, tapering toe boxes, making narrow cutouts, excessive cutouts in arches, using dual density posting, excessive arch support, all of these things are taking our body away from where it's naturally inclined to be. It's supporting it, it's causing it to perform inefficiently and incorrectly. So really we want footwear that's designed and built to, like I said, put us into where our body is naturally inclined to be. Hence the reason why all of our shoes are zero drop. They're all shaped like healthy feet to allow that forefoot to relax, hug in the heel a little bit, not impede the movement of the body. We don't have excessive arch support. Even in our quote-unquote stability shoe, the Provision that releases here shortly, there's not the dual density posting or the excessive arch support. It's all done through a Varist stability wedge, and which we've found with it being flat but yet angled from the outside to the inside provides a little bit of benefit for somebody that excessively collapses because of weak arches or anything along those lines. So.
Right, not to mention that with the shoes you make, it helps keep people from being as injured as much as when they're in traditional shoes.
Right.
Yep. All right, and what would you say makes you different from other minimalist shoes?
Well, the biggest difference is that we've gone minimal without necessarily going minimal. The Instinct, our flagship shoe, the Instinct and Intuition, they have the same amount of forefoot cushion as like a Ghost or a Guide or the top selling traditional style shoes. So we've dropped the heel height, but we haven't sacrificed any of the forefoot cushioning. So we're still allowing that runner that's used to cushion, doesn't necessarily want to five-finger the Adam and Eve route, but they have something that lets them maintain cushion and a little bit of comfort.
I'll send that right over.
And see, the biggest thing that I absolutely love about Altra is that you include the support insole, which allows people who are transitioning to take out the insole and go to a strengthening one after they're done with it for the most part.
Right, absolutely.
All right, and how did you come up with the name?
The name is really, we played with a bunch of different names as we started the company, but we were altering shoes, so we played off of the term alter. My two partners were big ultra runners, so playing off of ultra, alter, and then that's how we came up with Altra. And then we also play off the LTR with our learn to run, love to run, live to run. And so just end capped by the A's. So really those three things combined just made sense, and that's where we went with the name, and here we are.
All right, and as for the shoes, how do you come up with the shoe names? Because I've noticed that each one kind of goes with the one for men and women's. Like with
so we have a number of shoes that have kind of the separate gender names. One of the reasons for that is to really tell the world that we are gender specific. We've redesigned our men's shoes and women's shoes completely different from each other because men's and women's feet are different. So we really play off of the gender specific nature of that. We're really the only dual gender running shoe company that does that on their entire line of footwear. So that's one of the reasons why we've kept them separate. But as far as coming up with the names, we really just wanted to have some fun with the names that we've come up with. Hence the Adam and Eve, bringing us back to the roots, bringing us back to our beginnings, and taking us back to that first man and first woman. And then we followed that up in our minimalist line with the Samson and Delilah, playing off of the biblical roots there. And then the Lone Peak it's designed as a gnarly mountain trail shoe, and the Lone Peak has the highest vertical gain in the Wasatch Front Range, and it is a sincerely gnarly rocky peak. So that's where we came with the name of that one, and then Instinct Intuition. That run natural type aspect, we wanted people to play with, to go back to their instinct, go back for women their intuition, and really experience running as it's naturally meant to be experienced.
All right, and I gotta ask, outside of your products, what is your favorite minimalist shoe?
Outside of my product, what's my favorite?
Yep.
Oh, let's see. I would probably have to go. This is kind of a cop-out, I guess, because it's not a direct competitor. I'd have to go with Stem footwear.
Yeah, they definitely make good casual shoes. I love mine. Sorry about that. I just
no worries. Lost you there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but so you were saying that the Stems were your favorite shoe outside of your own products?
Yeah, I would have to go with Stem.
All right, and I have a few questions from people on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
Barefoot Barefoot Puffin posted, are you guys coming out with any more colors?
We will absolutely be coming out with some more color options. You'll be excited to see what we have coming late this spring, as far as colors and styles. So,
which automatically ties in with Kate from @Natra Stride, who was asking about the colors for the Eve. So I guess that answers it. But Naked Foot 5K, I think you may have heard of them possibly. But they want to know if the owners ever ran barefoot.
We all three of us have run barefoot. So I'll go out and I'll do a couple miles. Just last week I finished up a 6-mile run with my last mile barefoot. So I will take my shoes off quite often. And that it's winter now, so I don't do it as often as I do in the summertime or springtime. But if it's a nice day, I'll throw my shoes off and get out there and run barefoot. And I know Brian and Golden are the same way. So.
All right. And do you have any other different shoe models in thought right now that's going to be coming out in the future?
We do. We have 4 new styles that'll come out this summer. And then we hope to have a couple more early next year, and just kind of expanding from there. So,
any indications as to what they may be for, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, how much do we want to go into it? We'll have more of a racing style shoes. We'll try a triathlon specific shoe, and then we'll have a shoe that has a little more cushion for that heavier runner, even beyond what the Instinct and Provision offer.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up.
Thank you, Evan. It was a pleasure, man.
And thank you for giving me this time to talk with you about it.
Absolutely. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, and have a great weekend.
You too. Goodbye.
Will do. Thanks. Bye.